Well, that's that. The Bucks and 6 became the reality. Do you want like actual takes about this game besides that Giannis just had one of the best games we're ever going to see? The team scored 105 points. He had 50 of them. What, 15 for 17 from the line? He missed that one late. But man, I mean this was like the Giannis special. It was his signature thing, which is get ahead of steam, whether it's in transition or the half court, and just dare the other guys to contest the shot without fouling. And Phoenix just couldn't do it. They couldn't do it from game one, even when Giannis was clearly still affected by the injury, and they couldn't do it all the way to the end. They put DeAndre Ayton on him. They threw as many bodies at him as possible. Mikal Bridges did an okay job at timing when to come in on the spin moves. They tried ignoring PJ Tucker and Bobby Portis and Brook Lopez and Pat Connaughton and whoever else as much as they could. And it just didn't matter. Because Giannis, 7 feet, super athleticism, the strength, all that. That's that. I mean, I don't even really feel like doing actual basketball takes for this. I just want to talk about the Bucks. I mean, let's talk about Budenholzer. I mean, everybody was out for him when they were down 2-0 against the Nets. Same thing happened when they were down 1-0 against the Hawks, down 2-0 in this series. I mean, hell, even just the other day, I had somebody tweet at me, and it was like, if the Bucks win the championship, is it good because Budenholzer is going to stay? Like, it was still happening a little bit. Budenholzer made every adjustment that everybody wanted him to make. His guys played more minutes. He went away from drop coverage, not all the time. The drop coverage, I think, was actually pretty all right as the last couple games in this series, even if CP did get back to the mid-range, Booker as well. But look, it takes away corner threes, it takes away shots at the rim, and there were many moments in this series where the Suns, they just didn't get to the rim, they did not get to the line enough. But still, drop, switching more, that's what they did in the tail end of the Hawks series. The Middleton, Giannis screen stuff. I mean, just Giannis setting screens. I mean, I listened to my video that I did when they got Drew Holiday just to see if I said anything like really stupid or whatever. And I mentioned how at that time Giannis was only running like 2 screens a game. And I don't know what it was for these playoffs, but I have to imagine it was a lot more than that. Even if NBA.com can sometimes be a little stingy with that sort of thing. What else? He went to small lineups. Small, quote-unquote small. Giannis at center. Took Brook Lopez out, didn't play him super high minutes when he didn't want to, put Bobby Portis in there. I would also like to point out the Portis-Giannis Lopez lineup that I threw out there a little bit early in the series, then took back as fast as I could. They played for like 3 minutes tonight, and it was actually really good for what it's worth. But yeah, Budenholzer did everything that you'd want. And so, yes, Budenholzer should come back, and there you go. And, I mean, just think about where the Bucks were after that loss to the Heat. What was the conversation? It was, should Budenholzer be gone? I said they should fire him. Is Giannis going to want to come back? All that stuff. They trade all the picks, whatever else for Drew. The DiVincenzo for Bogdanovich trade falls through. The Bucks look kind of dumb there. And the expectations going into this season, I mean, I don't know if there was a clear favorite in the East before the Nets traded for Harden. Maybe it was still the Nets anyway. But once that trade happened, I think everybody was thinking, there you go. And yes, I understand injuries. I know. You want to know who else has benefited from injuries in the history of basketball? Damn near every single champion that you could think of. That's just the way it is. That does not mean the Bucks were not challenged along the way. That does not mean that it diminishes what we just saw from Giannis. So yeah, the other thing to talk about, we speaking of the Giannis Middleton thing, there was that handoff play late, which got Middleton the pull-up, which I guess kind of sealed it, that little elbow jumper. Once again, talking about that 2-man game. And the other thing to think about is just Giannis's place all time. I mean, before this game, I took a look at ESPN's top 74 players ever. I believe Giannis was 25th, something like that. He was 1 spot behind Dwayne Wade. And I mean, there will be a lot of conversations about where Giannis ranks all time. He's certainly not like pushing number 10 or anything. He's going to have to do a little bit more than that. But with this game, I mean, like, is Giannis better all time than Charles Barkley right now? Is he better all time than David Robinson or D Wade, as I mentioned? I don't know. I don't know exactly what it is, and nobody can agree on the all-time guys, but it's definitely a conversation now. And the other thing is, where does this performance from Giannis rank? I mean, 50 points in a closeout Game 6, 2 40-point games, amazing defensively throughout the series, 5 blocks today. Made one of the best defensive plays ever on Ayton back in, Game 4, I believe it was. I don't know. I mean, you think about LeBron in 2016, Kyrie in 2016. You think about D. Wade against the Mavs. If you want to pick just one MJ performance off the top of my head, I think it's the one against the Suns. There could be another one. I don't remember. And again, I don't know exactly where Giannis is, and there's other performances that I'm just not naming. Also, some that I just can't think of right now. But Giannis is in the conversation, and that's insane to believe. I mean, he's 26 years old, 27, whatever it is. He got a long time of being this good, and, you think about the NBA, and I'm probably jumping the gun a little bit here, but whatever. You think about when LeBron eventually retires, when Steph retires, who is someone who could carry the league, and I feel like this catapults Giannis into that potential thing. I mean, for the diehards, obviously Giannis is great, but you need this sort of thing. And I don't know, could this be the beginning of, let's say, you know how LeBron made everyone care about the Cavs and just like Cleveland, which was not typically like the huge market, the New York, LA, whatever. Maybe this is the beginning of Giannis doing that for Milwaukee, outside of the diehard fans, of course. I mean, maybe Giannis could be a household name for some person who's kind of in and out on basketball, you know what I mean? Maybe I'm trying too hard there, but I would like to believe that. So yeah, do we talk about Phoenix much? I mean, to give a quick little thing on the Suns, I think what did them in this series, besides Giannis just being unbelievable, not enough size. I mean, you think about the Raptors when they were defending Giannis, it's Kawhi, Siakam, Marc Gasol, or Ibaka. I mean, they had small guards, but their front court was just massive. You think about with Miami, Bam, Jimmy, and also that series was just kind of a crazy thing. The Heat, I mean, the Heat deserved to beat the Bucks, but it was also a moment of like, I don't know if they could make this happen again, but it's happening right now. And for the Suns' sake, I mean, you're throwing Ayton out there, which, okay, 7-footer or 6'11", whatever, a Giannis, that's nice. But you got Bridges and Crowder who are not big enough. CP and Booker can't do it. And so maybe more size. But even then, it's like, you got to Game 6 of the NBA Finals. Like, I don't think they need a total roster overhaul or anything. The other thing was maybe looking Ayton's way more, perhaps trying to replace Jay Crowder, or at least push him to the bench for somebody who can do a little bit more off the dribble. Maybe it's Mikal Bridges just developing his shot creation skills a little bit more. Just something that would have given them a little bit more than just Booker and CP screens and, the curl plays for Booker and all that. But yeah, man, for anybody who thought that these finals weren't going to be good, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. They were pretty damn awesome.